how to make a 5-ingredient, no-bake lemon eclair cake. 5 ingredients. Here's the first one. Graham crackers. Now I'm using the made with real honey. They have them with cinnamon in them, but I don't know how that will work well with the lemon. So we're gonna do the honey ones. I'm using a 9x13 baking dish. We're gonna open these up and we're gonna layer our graham crackers on the bottom. 1 layer. All right, here we go. Oh, these already smell good. So you wanna make sure you cover the whole bottom of your dish. And if I have broken ones, I'm gonna layer them right there. This is gonna create like a cake layer. So these are gonna get nice and softened. What do y'all think? That good right there? So this box is 14 ounces and it has 3 packages inside of here, and that's what we're gonna need to layer our dessert with. Thomas is out and about today helping the kids with something at their house. So he knows I'm making this. He bought 2 boxes of these. I'm like, oh, we only need 1. He's like, well, maybe if you need some extra. I think extra for himself. This is a set up dessert, which means it takes time in the refrigerator to kind of set up. And he knows that. Let's create the next layer. All right, after I did all that, I'm gonna have to remove them. What we want to do firsthand is spray the inside of our baking dish. So these, when they turn into like a cake consistency, they don't stick. Non-stick cooking spray. All right, we're gonna put them back in. Woo, I'll just save the day. All right, there we go. Let's make some pudding. I have 2 boxes of 3.4 ounce size instant pudding and pie filling. We're going to put these into the bottom of a large mixing bowl. What's great about this dessert? You can change the flavors if you want. If you want to do a chocolate, you can do chocolate pudding, and I'll show you the other ingredients you can change out too. All right, that's 1, and then we have our second one. Get all that out of there. Oh, I was so ready for a cool, refreshing dessert that you can just put in your icebox, refrigerator. We're gonna need 3.5 cups of cold milk. On the way. We're gonna pour it into our powdered lemon pudding mix. Now you can use a wire whisk or you can get your electric hand mixer out and do that. We're only gonna beat this for about 2 minutes. We wanna get a nice pudding consistency. I can feel it getting thicker in there. We definitely have spring in the air. It's about time. That is what we're looking for. Yeah. Yum. Woo, that's good. I've got 8 ounces of a Cool Whip. You can make your own whip topping if you want. Make sure you sweeten it up a little bit. And we're gonna go in with our spatula. And we're gonna add it. Now I'm using the spatula so that we can fold in the Cool Whip into our pudding. That way we're not whisking the air right out of it. There we go. All right, we're just gonna fold. Just go underneath, pull the pudding into the Cool Whip and just fold it in, just like that. We're gonna keep doing that till we have no white streaks left, and it should be a pale yellow color. This is what it should look like, nice and pale, smooth, and evenly distributed in there. Let's bring over our baking dish that has that first layer of graham crackers in there, and we're gonna put half of this mixture all on top. Just half of it, and then we'll smooth it out evenly. Nice and even, that way you have a nice layering technique here, and it'll show up really nice. We're gonna take another pack of the graham crackers, Single layer right across the pudding. Make sure you get all the way to the edge there. This layer here will really stick to that pudding layer, which is good. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna break them in half. Put them in like that. There we go. And then we're gonna take the rest of the mixture and pour it on top. It's starting to thicken up, which is good. All right, smooth it out. All right, nice and even. Another layer of graham crackers. Then I have a special ingredient going on top. Kind of pull it all together. Let's finish layering this, and then we'll talk about that last ingredient. All right, let's talk about that last ingredient. Now I have the lemons here because these are going to garnish the cake later. And I don't want to forget. We've got 1 tub, 16 ounces of a creamy lemon supreme, and this is a frosting. Now I'm not going to ice the cake with it just yet. We're going to take the lid off. Now make sure that you peel off the outer layer here of the foil and get all the pieces of it up, because we're going to put this in the microwave. We're going to heat it up. There we go. Make sure you have all that foil off so you don't have problems in your microwave. All right, I'm going to put this in the microwave just on full power for 30 seconds. We're going to loosen that up. All right, I'm going to get a knife. Let's kind of stir this. Be careful, it's going to be hot. Let's bring over our cake here. We're going to start on one end. We're just going to pour it on top till it completely covers it. There we go. And you don't want to do this, okay, because it's already solidifying and it'll look kind of funny. The easiest way to ice a cake. That's delicious. We need to refrigerate this for at least 10 to 12 hours. You want all those layers to come together, solidify, and go into those graham crackers to make the cake part of this Eclair cake. I'm going to be back tomorrow. And then I'm going to decorate it with some lemon and give it a try for you. All right, in the ice box, make sure you cover it with some cling wrap. Okay, I've pulled this out of the refrigerator the next day. I'm going to take some lemons. I'm going to cut some slices. And I'm going to put it on our no-bake cake. Now you can garnish the top of your cake any way you want. All right, let's cut a slice. All right, can y'all see those layers? Look at those layers. Let me give it a try for you. Doesn't that look refreshing? There's my bite. That's scrumptious. Y'all give me a thumbs up for this one. If you're gonna make this cake, let me know. Today we are going to make a magic lemon cobbler. Scrumptious. We're gonna grab a 9x9 baking dish. We're gonna place that whole stick of butter in, just like that. My oven is preheated at 350 degrees. We're gonna pop this in there. It should take about 4 to 5 minutes. We want it to get nice and melted in there. And while that's happening, we're gonna start our dry ingredients. So we're gonna bring over our flour. Now there's only 4 dry ingredients. We've got the flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar. So we're gonna start off with the flour. Now what I like to do is dig deep into my flour with my measuring tool, come up, we're going to shake it off. I'm going to go grab a knife. I'm going to take the back edge of it. We're just going to scrape off the excess. That way we're not smushing the flour and getting too much. And then we have just the right amount right there. Add that to a large mixing bowl. We're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That'll help give it a nice rise. That's 1. And a half. And then we're going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of some salt. Now before we add the 4th ingredient, we're going to whisk this together. What it does is aerate the flour and that baking powder. It'll make for a nice fluffy batter. We're going to bring over white granulated sugar and we're going to measure out 1 cup. It always seems like baking is like that. How much ever flour you have, you need the same amount for sugar. That's for a lot of recipes. All right, we're going to add that to our flour mixture. All right, we're just going to blend this together. All right, we're going to bring over our wet ingredients, and there's only 3. We're going to add in 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, you can make your own, and it's really easy. You can put 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or 1 tablespoon of white distilled vinegar into the bottom of your measuring cup, and then pour regular white milk into your measuring cup up to the 1 cup line. Give it a stir and let it rest for just a few minutes, and you've got buttermilk. So I've got buttermilk right here, and I'm trying to see where the 1 cup is. Let's see. Oh, right there. You don't want it to get too wet. So we're going to add it to our mixture. Okay, I've pulled my melted butter out of the oven. I'm just going to set it on the back burner for just a minute until we finish the batter. Okay, now we need to flavor the cobbler. So we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. There we go. And then we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. If you don't have the lemon extract, you can certainly just do another teaspoon of the vanilla extract. There we go. But we're going to accentuate the lemon in this dish. Okay, we're going to take a spatula. We're going to blend this together just until combined. Oh, it smells delicious in there. If you can get the lemon extract, I would certainly get it. It's just so fragranced in there. All right, we're not going to overmix, so that's it right there. That's why I did not use a whisk for that. Okay, we're going to come over to our melted butter that's in our pan. And we're just going to kind of drizzle it in. We are not going to mix this at all. This is a magic lemon cobbler, so we're going to let it do the magic. Yeah, right? You're going to want to stir, you're going to want to spread out, you're going to want to do something, but don't. All right, we want to get all that goodness out of there. There we go. I've got a can of lemon pie filling. This is 22 ounces. You know, when we open this can, it's going to smell delicious in there. Oh, see how creamy that is? Who needs to get a spoon? Let's just give that a try. Yep. Wow. To keep my husband behind the camera. He really wants this, so we're making it for him. All right, so you're going to take your spoon, you're going to go in, and we're going to dollop it all over. You're going to want to mix this in, but please don't. Just teasing my husband.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm trying to leave some of the batter in between the dollops, that way it can come up between them. We'll have a great presentation for that, yeah. All right, where else? There. You want to make sure you get it all in there. All right, we'll pass that on to Thomas because you know he wants that spoon.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
good.
Okay, I still have my oven at the 350 degrees. We're gonna bake this for about 45 to 55 minutes. It's gonna be golden brown on the top. The edges are gonna push in just a little bit and become golden brown and nice and crispy on the edges there. I'll be back. I'm gonna show you how we're going to serve it up. Oh, look at that. We've pulled it out of the oven. We let it rest a few minutes or so. That way it can kind of pull itself together. You don't want to scald your mouth on that hot lemon. Thomas has already pulled the ice cream out. That's what we're serving it up with. Let's go in. You can see it's nice and golden on the top. Along the edges, it's nice and crispy. Yeah, this is a good one, you guys. I'm going to dig deep on this. Woo-wee. Look at that. Let's put some ice cream with it. Today I'm going to show you how to make a lemon cream cake. It's so easy. We're going to be starting with a boxed cake mix. I'm going to show you how to make this bakery style, which makes it really nice and fluffy, versus you can just keep this the original with the ingredients on the back of the box. We're going to empty this box into a large bowl. Now, you want to follow the directions right here, but I'm going to be changing out some ingredients. So instead of the 1 cup of water, I'm going to place in 1 cup of milk. Instead of the 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, I'm going to be putting in 1/3 cup of melted butter. Now, you want to make sure you cool this down just a little bit, because when you start cracking eggs into hot melted butter, you're going to scramble them. You don't want that. So just cool it down a little bit. Generally do this step first, melting of the butter, while you get everything else ready. That way it'll cool it down. Okay, we have 3 eggs. I'm going to be cracking in 4 eggs. I like to crack them in a separate bowl. That way we can keep any shells out of our batter. You don't want to be digging for those. That's 2. Springtime is coming. So let's get those spring desserts out. And nothing wrong with making them real easy. And there's 4. All right. I'm going to be using an electric hand mixer to blend this all together. It generally takes about 2 minutes. Make sure you time that. About halfway through, just take your spatula and pull down the sides. 2 minutes are up. So fluffy in there. I'm going to spray a 9x13 baking dish with some nonstick cooking spray. Now, you know I always use the one that has the flour in it, especially when I'm making cakes. I know what y'all are thinking. Whew. All right. Where's the lemon? It's coming up. Okay, we're going to go ahead now and pour the batter into our prepared baking dish. We're going to spread it out evenly. We're going to be using 1 can of lemon fruit filling or topping. Now this is 22 ounces. We're going to dollop that all over the cake batter. Got to give it a try. There's your lemon right there. Oh, I can smell that lemon. Mmm. Put the whole can on. We're going to take a knife and we're going to start swirling. Now you don't want to mix them all together. You just want to get a nice swirl. You still want to see the two layers here. Ooh, that looks good. All right, let's go back to our cake mix box instructions. Got my oven preheated at 350 degrees. You want to follow the directions on the back of the box for a 9 by 13, which is about 26 to 31 minutes. You can put a toothpick in where the cake batter is, pull it out, and make sure the cake is cooked through. Now, y'all, don't leave me yet. We still have a topping to put on this, and it involves more lemon. Okay, I've pulled it out of the oven about the 30-minute mark. Look how beautiful that is. But it has pulled away from the edges, is what you're looking for, nice and golden brown. You're going to want to cool this down completely before our next step. Okay, that looks too good. Look at that. It's cooled down. We've got to top it with a delicious frosting. I'm going to start off with 16-ounce tub of cream cheese frosting. We're going to put it in a large bowl, and then we're going to whip it up with our electric hand mixer and get it nice and fluffy. Get some air in there. Just a little dribble. Lemon extract. I'm bringing over an 8-ounce tub of Cool Whip. We're going to spoon it in, blend it in. Okay, we got the last spoonful of the Cool Whip going in. Oh, this is almost like a marshmallow consistency. Look at that. Just blend this just enough to where it's combined. And I believe we are there. Woo. All right. Guess who's taking these?
The boogeyman.
All right, let's ice our cake.
Oh man, that's good.
I think we have a winner on that, huh? All right, I'm going to pour it all on the cake here. We're going to spread it out evenly. What do y'all think? Look at that. Almost didn't want to cover up the cake. It was so pretty on the bottom side there. All right. Now let me show you something. Now I've washed my lemon here. I'm going to cut thin slices. I'm going to do 8 of them. I'm going to take the lemon slice. I'm going to take it all the way up to the rind right there. Just cut it, not in half, about 3/4 of the way. We're going to twist it, and we're going to place it on each slice of the cake, wherever we're going to slice it. There we go. All right, what do y'all think? Ideally, you should put this in your refrigerator, let it set up for about 1 hour. That didn't happen. In fact, I'm missing some cake. And there's a fork right here too. Let's go in. That pie filling, right there with that delicious cake, that frosting, and decorate it with some lemon slices. Here's my bite. Wow. Today I'm going to show you how to make lemon snowdrops. These are like 2 little cookies put together with a creamy lemon filling rolled into snow. This recipe comes from my sister-in-law, Donna, who always comes through with a really good recipe. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna be using my stand mixer, let it do all the work today. It's gonna do some of the work anyway. In a large mixing bowl, and I'm gonna use in the mixing bowl of my stand mixer, I'm going to be adding in 2 sticks of very soft butter. That's 1 cup. Boop. There we go. And here's 2. We're gonna add in half a cup of powdered sugar. I'm gonna grab me a knife and just scrape that off so we don't have too much in there. All right, add that to the butter. We're going to add in 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. Make sure we get all the way over. There we go. Oh, already bringing out that lemon flavor. I'm going to use my paddle for the stand mixer. We're going to cream this together until well blended. Make sure you have a spatula ready so you can pull down the sides as you go along. We want to get to a pale color on the butter. Okay, can y'all see that color change in there? That's what you want, nice and light and airy. We're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm just going to go into my flour container here deep, shake it off, take a knife, the back edge, and bring it all the way up to the edge here, and then just scrape it off. Don't mash, because that'll give you too much flour. This right here is perfect. We're going to go in and add that. All right, go deep down in, bring it up, fill in the gaps very carefully, and then drag it out. Okay, let's talk about the salt. You're going to need 1/8 of a teaspoon for every stick of butter, so that would be 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, I'm using salted butter, so I'm going to divide that in half, and I'm only going to put in 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now, if you're using unsalted butter, I would go in with the whole 1/4 teaspoon. I'll have that in my directions at catherinesplates.com. Just look up the recipe, and you'll see that there. All right, we're going to put that back in. I'm going to start on a slow setting. That way the flour gets incorporated and doesn't go whiffing everywhere, and then we'll move it up to a medium setting. We'll turn it off for just a minute. We're going to incorporate. See, the dough is getting thick, and that's what you want. It will be a thick dough. That's why I'm using my stand mixer. All right, we'll give it a whirl for another 30 seconds, and then that will be that for the dough. Whew. Now that is our cookie dough. Mine is pretty firm. If yours is not, you can put it in the refrigerator covered for just a few minutes while you get your pan and everything ready. We're going to be making little cookies, little. I'm using 1 teaspoon, that's what they call for. I'm going to go into my mixture here. Make sure your hands are nice and clean. We're going to take the dough out of the 1 teaspoon. We're going to roll it into a ball. We're going to place it onto our pan. And then I'm going to use a piece of parchment to smash it down. Just a little square. We're just going to place it on top of the ball. We're going to smash down. Only halfway, okay? Don't smash it down flat until you have nothing. All right, I'm going to bring you over here so we can finish these up. You're going to go in with your teaspoon. I'm going to flatten it down. We'll get a nice even amount. We want all the cookies to be the same size. Then I'm just going to roll it out of the teaspoon. Put it in the palm of my hand. Roll it to a ball. Place it on our pan. Put a piece of parchment on it, and then we're just going to flatten it down about halfway. And then keep them all the same size, like that. All right, I'm going to fill up the rest of the pan with the cookie balls, and then I'm going to smash them all out and bring it back. All right, that's it for this pan. I'll make the rest on another pan. Now this recipe is new for me, so I'm learning with y'all. And I'm going to tell you that I probably keep them about this right here, about maybe a 50-cent piece. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven. I've got it preheated at 400 degrees. We're going to bake these for 8 to 10 minutes. We're going to pull them out. Now you want to take them off the pan immediately as it comes out of the oven. All right, so we're going to pop these off, put them on a wire rack, let them cool completely. While that's happening, I'm going to get my other pan of these ready to go. I'm going to start with the 8 minutes on the timer, just give them a check, and if they need the other 2 minutes, I'll go ahead and give it to them. All right, I'm going to finish this batch off. Now, as these come out of the oven, make sure you pull them off the pan and put them on a cooling rack right away. I hope I don't steal a few. Better yet, have my husband steal them.
I can't promise nothing.
All right, then have some room for the second batch. There's our second batch. Make sure that you have even amount of cookies because 2 of these will create the actual snowball cookie. Now, if you have leftovers like this right here, you can eat those. While the cookies are cooling back behind me, we're going to go ahead and make that lemon butter filling. First thing we're going to do is put in our dry ingredients into a medium saucepan. Now, I haven't turned it on yet. We're going to add in half a cup of white granulated sugar. We're going to add, this is what's going to help thicken it up, cornstarch, 2 tablespoons. And a pinch of salt, just a pinch. What I'm going to do is whisk this together. We're going to place this on a medium heat. We're going to slowly add in half a cup of water while we're whisking. Get that nice and incorporated. Now we're going to continually stir till it starts thickening and comes to a boil. We've got a boil going on. We're just going to continually stir this for about 30 seconds. Okay, it's nice and thick. We're going to take it off of the heat. We're going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter and allow that to melt. Now I've washed my lemon, dried it off, and I'm going to go in with a microplane and I'm just going to zest in some of the peel here. I'm going to say whatever you can get off of a small lemon here would be enough. Whisk that in. Ooh, smells good. I'm going to say you're going to need about 1 to 2 teaspoons of the lemon zest. I'm going to cut that lemon in half. We're going to squeeze it in about 1 to 2 tablespoons, whatever your lemon flavor is. Mix that in, and then we're going to go in with a few drops of some yellow food coloring. I'm just going by the recipe. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's see what it does. Oh yes, look at that. I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator until it is totally cool. We got to make the cookies, and then we got to put snow on them. I've got my cooled cookies. I've got my cooled lemon butter mixture. I've got powdered sugar, and I got a plate so that they can land on when we get over there. So we're going to take a cookie, take the flat side. We're going to put some of that mixture on there. You don't need much, little dollop. We're going to place another cookie right on top. We're going to place it into the powdered sugar. And we're going to cover it, shake it off, because that is our snow right there. I'm going to land it on the plate. Take the cookie, turn it upside down, flat side right there. Just a little dollop. Goes a long way. There we go. I'm going to put another cookie, flat side on top of the mixture. Squeeze it together. We're going to place it into the powdered sugar. You can kind of push it on there or use a spoon, whatever it takes. Shake it off. Onto our plate. Look at these cookies. I'm going to sprinkle on top some more of the powdered sugar, lemon snowdrops. What do y'all think? Really easy, no bake, heavenly Oreo lemon dessert. Okay, the first step is we need to make that crust for the bottom of our baking dish. We are going to be using some Oreos. These are the golden Oreos. Get these opened up here. Now this is the family size, and it is 1 pound and 3 ounces. So what we're going to do, we're going to pulverize these in our food processor. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you can put these in a Ziploc bag and beat them with a rolling pin. We're going to do this in the food processor. Get these done lickety-split. Okay, we're going to whirl these up, and then I'm going to place it into a medium bowl, and then I'm going to finish whirling up the rest of the Oreos and then get those in the bowl also. Okay, that's what we're talking about right there. We're going to take 1½ sticks of butter, or 3/4 of a cup, and we're going to melt it. We're going to add this to our golden Oreo crumbs. All right, we're going to combine it. We want to make sure all the crumbs are nice and wet with that melted butter. So we're going to take a measuring cup, about 1/2 cup, and we're going to fill it, and we're going to use that at the end of the recipe. So you want to set this aside. Don't forget about it. There we go. Yes. Spray your 9x13 baking dish with some nonstick cooking spray. Now we're going to go ahead and add the crumb mixture to our baking dish. All right, just use your fork and mash down on the mixture until you get an even layer. You want to make sure it's nice and solid. We're not going up on the sides. It's just a bottom crust. Just keep pressing till it's nice and solid. Okay, we just have a few more layers to go, and they're really simple layers. We're going to go ahead and place this in the refrigerator just to kind of set up that bottom layer. And then while that's happening, we're going to start our next step. In a large bowl, what we're going to do is add 2 boxes of lemon instant pudding mix. These are 3.4 ounces each. Lemon screams summer, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, to this, we're going to add 3¼ cups of cold milk. Make sure it's cold. It helps that pudding to set up. Oh, there's that pretty color. Look at that. Now we're going to whisk this up until we get a pudding consistency, or you can use an electric hand mixer. Oh, it smells good. That lemon flavor, it's going to be good in that dessert. Should take about 2 minutes to whisk this into a pudding consistency. I can already feel it getting thick. I think that's good. gonna get a spoon. Yeah, pudding right there. Oh, yum. All right, you can set this aside or you can place this in your refrigerator if you have some room. And we're gonna start on the next layer. Okay, for the second layer, you're gonna need 8 ounces of cream cheese, softened. You wanna make sure it's very soft. We're just gonna take the electric hand mixer and we're going to beat the cream cheese until it's nice and smooth. We're going to beat in 1 cup of powdered sugar. I'm going to put it in a 1/4 cup at a time. All right, this is the 4th one, and at that point we're just going to take a spatula, pull down the sides, and then cream it all together. Okay, that is nice and smooth. Now you're going to need a spatula for this. We're going to take 8 ounces of Cool Whip that you've thawed out. We're going to add it. And then just fold it in using the spatula. Just fold from the bottom. So pull down into the bottom, pull it up, and halfway cut into it. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and build our layers up. Now I've pulled my crust out of the refrigerator. We're going to place the cream cheese Cool Whip mixture on top and spread it evenly. Now if you use an offset spatula, it spreads much easier and it won't pull that bottom crust up. Now you can see my description box down below if you're interested in the offset spatulas. Oh yeah, you want to see those layers? Perfect. Okay, we're going to put the lemon pudding mixture on top for the next layer. Just kind of dollop it around. And then we're going to smooth it evenly. All right, I'm just going to use a spoon because we don't want to pull up that cream cheese whipped cream layer there. So you can use the same offset spatula, just clean it off if you want to do that. But I'm just going to use a spoon here. There we go. Okay, our next layer is going to be another container, 8 ounces of thawed Cool Whip. Now, if you don't want to use Cool Whip, you can make your own whipped topping by using heavy whipping cream. But for a fast, easy dessert, this is it. Just lightly spread it over the pudding. A very rich dessert. Really good for holidays. It's summer. Pull it out for barbecues, get-togethers, or just pull it out of your refrigerator and get you a slice. Okay, we're going to take the 1/2 cup of crumb butter mixture that we had saved from earlier, and we're going to sprinkle it all on top. Now just take the bottom edge of a spoon and then just kind of press. Heavenly Oreo lemon dessert. Look at those layers. I'm going to place this in the refrigerator for just 2 hours to kind of help set this all up. I'm going to be back and I'm going to dig in. Oh, I think we're missing a piece. It didn't last 2 hours in the refrigerator. Can y'all see that? Many layers of scrumptiousness. When I say scrumptious, it is scrumptious. Oh my gosh, I love that cookie layer on the bottom. It adds a little butterness to it. And then that lemon pudding, Very delicious. My husband's like, butterness? A buttery flavor, how about that?
There you go.
Okay guys, who's making this one? You saw how easy that was to put together. The only hard thing about it was waiting a couple of hours for it, which didn't happen too well here. As I was cutting a piece for you guys, a few disappeared. All right, give me a thumbs up, comment down below. You can go to my recipe blog, catherinesplates.com, where you can also find my cookbooks. Okay guys, I will see you on the next episode.